So the first chapter of Platinum End, the new manga from the creators behind Death Note and Bakuman, is out now. I'm gonna say one thing, and I think a lot of people are going to agree with me. This first chapter honestly felt very reminiscent, very reminiscent of another anime slash manga that a lot of us have seen, and that is Future Diary. The setup was very reminiscent, and I'm not saying, oh, it copied it or anything like that, but it really gave me that vibe, and that's a good vibe because I really love Future Diary. And the problems that people have with Future Diary, imagine you have really awesome writers like the people behind Death Note and Bakuman to make something like Future Diary only without the problems that it had. Yeah. So a quick synopsis: the main character Midai wants to fucking kill himself. Yes, he wants to die. He's like, fuck this shit, I wanna die. And he tries it, and he basically gets rescued by some angel, and the angel puts a choice: do you want wings or you want a bow that can make people fall in love with you for an entire month? And right there, that's where it all begins. To be honest with you, the first portion of the chapter, when we were getting a lot of exposition and explanations, it did feel a little bit sluggish to an extent, but then immediately the manga goes from like slightly sluggish and really like info heavy to holy crap, this went really quick. Like once we passed some of that explanations and him getting the wings and the bow, it definitely started going really quick. It was like in one chapter we got the wings, we got the bow, we get the backstory of what happened with his family, we get the revelation of who really killed his family, and then we get the whole setup with the survival game and a lot of big things in this one chapter. Like honestly, I would say that while yeah, it was a grand slam as far as like wow, a lot of shit happening, at the same time maybe it might feel overwhelming to a certain extent because it's just like so much to take in for that first chapter. And the violence and gore, honestly this is on a whole other level of violence and gore that we only seen a little bit in Death Note, and obviously we didn't get any of that in Bakuman. But I think this is going to be the most violent series we've got from these guys thus far, because what happens with the aunt, and I'm trying to be as spoiler free as possible, yeah, it's fucked up. Not to mention making your aunt fall in love with you. What the fuck, bro? Also, quick note, his name is Midai, the main character, which oddly enough means future diary. And if you think about it, to be honest with you, having the both powers be like an option, like do you want the wings or you want the arrow that'll make people fall in love with you for a month, kind of reminds me in a way when Light had the option to get the other powers as well. It was kind of like, hey, you can have two different powers. So I'm curious if there's going to be like a cause and effect with this. Like, is there going to be some sort of risk to using these powers constantly that the angel isn't telling him? And I'm curious more about the gods. I definitely want to learn more about the god that, you know, starting this whole game, why in particular. Like, I think there's going to be more as to why he's making this whole game and who the angels are going to choose. Like, definitely that's going to be vital to whether or not this is going to be interesting. And I'm curious if it's going to be like Future Diary. Like, are we going to get, like, you know, each person is an arc, and since it's seemingly going to last for like a year or two, I'm guessing it's going to be like 2 to 3 years that this series is going to last as far as, you know, in universe. I'm guessing we're going to have like long arcs per character. If it's done right and the characters are interesting enough, then it could be good. Like, to be honest with you, I'll say it straight. Like, on an enjoyment aspect, I had a fucking blast with this one. I would honestly say, if you've seen my Smoking Parade video, I like this probably a tad bit more than Smoking Parade. And I fucking love that first chapter. I want you guys to let me know, since this is monthly, this won't be a problem at all for me to review. Do you want to see monthly reviews from this? Because I'll tell you straight up, I loved it. Like, I loved it. Like, critic bullshit aside, I fucking love this shit. Like, it's very reminiscent of Future Diary. We're gonna have a bunch of fucking psychos trying to get that power of God. And yeah, we have this suicidal nut job that had a fucked up past and ends up fucking killing people in the very first chapter on some, you know, light Yagami shit. But he has some huge shoes to fill, because right now, this manga, if I was to compare it to either Death Note or Bakuman, it's a lot closer to Death Note. The, you know, angels are pretty much kind of like the Shinigami, and this whole crazy shit of these powers and everything is kind of like the Death Note in the eyes. So it's more reminiscent definitely to Death Note. We definitely need to get more from this character, because as of right now, Midai's character, it's alright. It's nothing spectacular, because I've already seen a couple different manga where the main character just wants to fucking jump to a suicide in the beginning. So he wanted to die in the beginning. Throughout this chapter, he gets a huge character development where he's like, no, my family wanted me to be happy. So we got that out of him. And seemingly tiny little pieces, but it's not really much to his character. So we definitely need, as the series progresses, which again, this is only first chapter, so I'm not critiquing that, I'm just saying what needs to be done. We need to flesh him out more. We need to definitely flesh him out more. Like, since it's not a clear-cut goal like Light Yagami, like, oh shit, you know, I'm gonna change the fucking world. There we go, bam, done. With this character, it's kind of like, so what, you just want to be happy? Is that like the whole thing? So you're gonna use these powers to get exactly what you want to make you happy? And I'm also curious if there's any possibility that this world is connected to Death Note or something. That would be fucking sick. So yeah, to be honest with you, for a very first chapter, it was great. It was fucking great, but this could go south quick if the main character doesn't get development as far as like express him more, get more to him, get more characterization. Also, the other participants in this survival game. Yes, I'm gonna keep saying survival game because it's totally like Future Diary, and I'm fucking loving that aspect. And overall, they just need to put that Death Note Bakuman great writing shit into it so that way it could be a really fucking dope shit. But as far as first chapter goes, 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 for this one. Like the first beginning part of the chapter definitely felt like an info dump, and it was kind of like it took a while, but once it got going, it got going. We just, like I said, you know, the things that I stated that need to happen in order to really make this shit just kick off. Like the main character Midai, I want more from you, bro. Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't checked out the first chapter yet, again, this is from the creators of Death Note and Bakuman, and I can tell you at the very least, the first chapter is a very strong and awesome first chapter. Where it goes from here, I don't know. I'm not gonna say this is gonna be the next big thing, because who knows? I can almost guarantee you it'll get an anime just because it's the Death Note and Bakuman guys. So 2, 3, 4 years from now, this will be animated. I can almost guarantee that. And for people that have checked it out, what did you think about this first chapter? Was it reminiscent of Future Diary too much? What do you think in comparison to like the beginning of Death Note? Like, is it similar? What do you think about the main character Midai? Does he need to get more development and more characterization in order to feel like, oh shit, this character has a lot of things on his plate? And your world thoughts of the chapter. I'm fucking hype. I can't wait. Like, I think I might do monthly reviews of this. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.